If you're like me and you enjoy buying used cars, or let's say you're looking for your first car, stay tuned because by the end of this video, I'll show you guys how to find a good deal, how to look over that good deal, and be happy with your purchase. So let's get right into it. I'm gonna say this a couple times throughout the video, but research is your friend. Research, research, research. In 2019, if you're looking at a car that's, let's say, 5 years old, 6 years old, even 10 years old, the good thing is that 100,000 miles isn't what it used to be. So a lot of car manufacturers are doing 100,000 mile powertrain warranties because they know that 100,000 miles isn't what it used to be. My first tip is that forums are your friend. So there's a forum out there for pretty much every niche, every car group, anything you're looking for. And you can actually take the 2 minutes it is to register and join those forums, and then go on there, and sometimes you can even do it without registering, but go on there and look for information about the car. Check the DIYs, see if there's a lot of stuff in there that you can take advantage of. Usually you can find a thread that discusses all the common issues that these cars face or common things that the owners run into. So why not get ahead of the game and find out what you could look forward to or potentially experience with your car. I can tell you right now that I've been in more Facebook groups for specific cars than I can count on both of my hands. And so that's more than 10 car groups. And if you go on Facebook and take that time, you'll find a group, and chances are you'll find a lot of answers to questions you're looking for. This guide wouldn't be complete without talking about Kelley Blue Book. That's another great one because you can check the market value for cars. You can check to see what your car is worth if you're trading something in. And then the best part about KBB is that it gives you some sort of negotiation starting point. So you can say that someone's asking $20,000 for a car, but KBB says it's worth 15 with all the same options. They might be trying to start off high, so they have a little bit of negotiation room. Be careful though, because certain cars like, let's say the Subaru WRX or even the Cummins pickup trucks, those guys, they like to ask a little bit more than KBB, so your negotiation tactic might not work because those cars have a different street value than their KBB value. Another note with the forums is you can actually get an idea of what people paid for repairs. You can check maintenance costs and what maintenance is going to be required for certain cars. Top favorites is cargurus.com. The best thing about the site is that it tells you whether or not the asking price from the seller is fair, high, or low. And then it also tracks the price history, so you can see if a car has been on a lot for a long time and then whether or not that price has changed, or if it, let's say a car just became a collectible or something and that price jumped up, you can keep an eye on the price trend and it does all that for you. Craigslist is awesome, but if you're not careful, there's a lot of shady tricks that you can do on cars. I can tell you from someone who spends a lot of time trying to browse Craigslist for awesome deals and some cool little gems. There's a lot of interesting cars, you could say, on there. The Facebook Marketplace is also very similar to Craigslist. The only thing that's a benefit with the marketplace is you can see the Facebook attached to the listing. So you would think that that would keep people a little bit more honest, because the anonymous side of Craigslist, or the part where you can kind of buy a car from someone and they disappear, that kind of gets erased a slight bit, but it can still happen, so be very careful on that one. Make sure you either find someone that knows cars or take the time to do your research so you have a good standpoint. Another good one, Auto Trader, just like Car Gurus, and they actually just recently added the feature to where it shows you whether or not the asking price is fair, high, or low. I did like that a lot. It's about time that Auto Trader stepped it up on that. Another popular one is Auto Tempest, and that one allows you to search across the whole US, so it allows you to go through all of them. So it'll search eBay, it will search Craigslist and a bunch of other car sites and give you the opportunity to filter everything all in one place. I don't get anything for talking about those websites, so just saying those are ones that I've used that have helped me find some great car deals. Not to scare you guys, but let's say you decide the research is a little too intense. I don't want to do the research. It could come back to get you. Recently, when I was looking at purchasing a Mini Cooper, I found out just on the forums that back in the day, the Mini Coopers had a problem where the oil pressure switch wouldn't tell you when it was too low. So when those sensors went bad, by the time you realized that you were out of oil, it was a little too late. And so some people got away with that, but there's a lot of Minis out there that drove for too long with low oil. No, I'm not trying to scare anyone. If this was an episode of Scared Straight, you would know it, because I'd be yelling. But buying a car is a huge investment. It's a huge investment even if you're only spending $3,000, because it's a shame to have a $3,000 car turn into a $3,000 paperweight. No car buying experience is complete without looking at a Carfax. And yes, for most cars, let's say you're looking for one $1,500, you might not care about a lot of things. If your budget's a little bit higher than $1,500 though, it could be very crucial that you actually get your hands on a Carfax, and most dealerships will provide that if you ask. Another thing with the Carfax is that it's not always updated, so there's not a huge guarantee, but Carfax says they do have a guarantee. If you buy a car and something's not on the Carfax report that ends up coming up to bite you in the butt later on, that they'll actually buy the car back from you. So something to look into, and to me, it's worth spending the money if you're gonna get a Carfax to make sure that you know that the car is gonna check out and you're not gonna have any problems later on if you decide to sell it or something. If you're gonna be looking around at a lot of used cars, you could get 6 Carfaxes for about 99 bucks. Sounds like it's really high, but it's actually not a bad deal considering how much information you're getting. And if, let's say you find a car that has nothing on the Carfax, you can just talk to Carfax and ask for a refund because there isn't enough information from that Carfax and it wasn't worth the money. And they've done that for me in the past, and they do take good care of people. So you might be wondering, why is the Carfax important? Don't you worry, LJ will tell you. The first reason is you can see how many owners the car has had. While that might not be a big deal to some people, it can be a big deal for the car's history. The real big thing is the status of the title. So you might be thinking, what does it matter? Again, if your budget's like $1,500, you might not care if a car has a branded salvage title, something like that. But if your car is $15,000 and you might be making an investment for the next 5 to 6 years, you might not want someone to lie to you and say that a car has a clean title and come to find out that it doesn't. All right, here we go. This is the best part. Whether or not a car was a rental car. Do you know what the fastest car is? A rental car, because you can drive it and do whatever you want with it. I'm not saying that I do that, but I know a lot of people that have. Food for thought, something to think about. But one of the pros to rental cars that people often forget is the maintenance schedule. Rental cars have to get serviced a lot more frequently than our cars that we keep in our garage or we just drive to work. So because of that, they're getting their oil changes, they're getting tires, their fluids are constantly checked, supposed to be at least, but again, who knows? The last step to research, I'd say, is figure out how much your car insurance is roughly gonna be. It might not be a deal breaker for many people, and if you're buying a car cash, it also might not be a big deal, but something that's often forgotten until it's at the end of things. You bought the car, now you need to insure it, and you hear the quote and your jaw might drop. Thank you guys for checking out yet another episode of LJ's Garage. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy these videos. Let me know down below what you think of these buying tips, or if you have any others that you think other people would enjoy hearing. Be safe out there and happy shopping.